As futurist Roy Amara once said, "We tend to overestimate the effect of a technology in the short run and underestimate the effect in the long run." As Amara points out, new technologies such as AI drug discovery will be initially overhyped, but given time, may significantly change the world. So today, we're going to look at how AI can solve problems that real drug discovery researchers face in the field. As a medicinal chemist, my primary responsibilities include the design and synthesis of new derivatives. Traditionally, when designing new derivatives, I would search the literature or use knowledge what I've learned, or based on the experience that I've gained. When you're designing a new derivative, you just come up with ideas that any medicinal chemist would come up with, so you need new ideas. And that's where hyperdesign comes in. With hyperdesign, you can get these ideas quickly and easily. Let's take a look at an example. The target that I'm going to use as an example today is called PI3K alpha. It's a really good target for the response rate. And it's been a really well-researched target for anti-cancer drugs for a long time. Initially, pan-PI3K inhibitors that inhibit all isoforms were developed and approved, but it was withdrawn when the side effect of increased risk of death was identified. Since then, among the various isoforms, PI3K alpha inhibitors have come up that selectively inhibit only alpha isoform. These inhibitors have been associated with serious hyperglycemia and rash side effects. The cause was identified as a side effect because it inhibits not only the mutated type of PI3K alpha but also the wild type. Later on, PI3K alpha mutant selective inhibitor has been studied, which selectively inhibits only mutations in PI3K alpha. The research that had been done was very limited. The structure of co-crystals bound to drugs and proteins is also unknown. But in September of this year, STX478 co-crystal X-ray information has finally been released to the PDB, which is in phase 1 clinical development at Storm Therapeutics, so it makes it easier for various computational approaches to be taken. To date, only one patent exists for STX478 that is publicly available, and if we were to design a new derivatives to avoid the patent using STX478 as a reference, the simplest and most accurate way would be to change with bicyclic parent nuclei in the left side, composed of indole or benzopyrin, or urea linker which is limited to hinged binder in the middle. But this is what most people would think. Now that the PDB is public, I'm sure they're all thinking the same thing. Then you'll need novel ideas that other people can't come up with. This is when you can use hyperdesign. Hyperdesign is a great tool to use when researching new derivative designs. By considering both 2D and 3D structures, you can get ideas for designing new derivatives in a reasonable way. And as you can see, it also gives you a three-dimensional bond structure of the designed derivative. So you can also get additional ideas. So let's see how you can use hyperdesign to design, and what other ideas you can get when you're actually working on a project. This screen is molecule list in the HyperLab. We can select the molecule that we want to design, click on hyperdesign, and you'll be taken to the design screen. The first time you enter you'll see a tutorial. And I've already run it several times, so I'm going to hit Don't Show again. Provide the initial starting molecule you want to design, and press the plus button. You will now enter a screen where you can hyper-design. I'm going to click on the part of this screen that I want to change. Let's do the C part first. And then replace, and then just press Run. And right there on the bottom left, we can see the history. How many hyper-designs we're running, and how we're progressing. The hyperdesign is in progress. Now, what if you wanted to do the same variation for Part B? Once you can select all of Part B, and then press Replace again, and hit Run again. You'll see that there are currently 2 hyperdesigns in progress. If you click the Ongoing button, you can see which ones are currently in progress, and what percentage of them are in progress. It can take up to 10 minutes to calculate, so I will share the finished page with you. If you go into the hyperdesign, you're gonna get a hierarchy screen like this. You can check it out on the table as well, depending on your preference. If we look at the hierarchy first, I had 3 hyperdesigns with A, B, and C parts. I did all the replace. If you look at Part B first, 50 substances were suggested. As you can see, in the urea linker that we put in before, you can see a new noble fragment with 2 rings connected to it. To see the 3D structure, You can press the three dots at the top to enter the detail view screen and click on the view of the 3D structure. You can also see the 3D viewer, so you can see how the conformation is similar with the existing molecule and how well it's bound. You can also compare the molecules you've designed to see where and how they've been modified. In the screen you're looking at now, you can see that there's one more hydrogen bond on this side, that it's bound well. Now, if you want to make any further progress with your design, press the plus button and add additional structures to this molecule that you want to draw. The molecules that you've drawn will continue to add like this. You can continue to expand on your idea. What you're seeing now is a pretty good representation of the structures that I've already designed. If you look at part B first, the structure has been changed to a ring, so you can get a completely new idea. In part C, this is the best core to avoid patents. At this position, it's a tree cycle, new structure with 3 rings connected. And if you look at the 3D viewer, you can see that there's a new additional hydrogen bonding. And the second one is, another new structure is proposed, just 2 mono rings connected. And in this case, and you can see that have a new hydrogen bond can be added. Finally, we see a structure with an amide bond attached to this mono ring that seems to have a wide range of options. And for structures like this, by pressing the replace button, we can proceed with your design. When you're stuck, and you can't come up with a new derivative design idea, why don't you just let go of your brain for a second and try using a hyperlab? Subscribe, like, and comment reminders.